for joining us tonight. So you all should have in the player information folder in your journals a little background document. So that the information in there is based on background information you've given me and a few little extra snippets of information that probably only you know. So use them wisely. Use them as you see fit, or don't use them at all. Doesn't bother me whatsoever. So each of you, and again, it will say in your background document, you've been held captive for a number of days, and you probably, some of you will have managed to scavenge some items that you've managed to find whilst doing menial jobs and generally being mistreated by the drow. And it is a pretty horrendous situation you find yourselves in. You're stripped of all your belongings and equipment, left only with your clothes. You're locked in a dark cave for probably 8 hours of the day. Although for those of you from the surface, it's very hard to tell when the day starts and ends, other than you being kicked out of your hay beds and told to work. It's cold, it's damp, and the cell is bursting with people, not just yourselves. And it's no exaggeration to say that your captors are some of the cruelest people you've met. And that's saying something, because some of you are drow. So the leader of this outpost, you've heard it called Velkynvelve, is a drow priestess called Mistress Ilvara. And over the past 7 days, you've seen her more than a few times. She's really made her presence known. She wears long silk robes, and you can see that she's wearing chainmail underneath. She's always flanked by 2 male drow, one of whom has got a horrendously scarred face with a single dead eye. And she really likes to impress on you all that you're hers now. She has a scourge in hand, this horrible tentacle-ended whip, which she uses on anyone that doesn't do as she says. And the words ring in your ears: accept your fate, learn to obey, and you may survive. And so you find yourself, after a long day of mostly pointless toil, back in the cell. You guess it's night time, but it is hard to tell. Around you can see all the other prisoners, some familiar, some new. Probably best to start if everyone wants to describe themselves. Should we go with Veronica first?
Yeah. Tink is a foot tall. She has doll-like features. Her brown hair is tied up in a bright pink ribbon. She has a pair of goggles strapped to her head. She wears a brown waistcoat over a cream dress. She, whenever you see her, is mostly hovering in midair, suspended by some fluttering bronze wings. And if you have had time to look a little closer, you might notice there are other aspects of her person which appear to be reinforced by metal, like a plate under her chin, a sort of mechanical left hand, and maybe when you're sleeping in the cells at night, you can hear a faint ticking emitting from her.
Okay. Hazel.
So Malice is a young female drow. She is awkward, definitely awkward. Her mannerisms. If you do manage to catch her eye, she will hold eye contact with you in quite an uncomfortable manner. But other than that, she is dressed quite plainly, very dark clothing, just to match her, to offset her very light hair. There's nothing overly special about her, nothing that really stands out.
Hey, Jamie.
So Drone's a youngish drow standing just under about 6 foot tall. He still wears some of his more fanciful clothes that have some splashes of color, like blues and purples. But they're all quite tatty. Whether that's because of the imprisonment or because of the work he was doing beforehand is a bit of a mystery. He's also got a couple of few marks across his skin that look like they might have been from burns or wounds that might have occurred from any kind of like previous arcane studying he tried to do, and may or may not have cocked up slightly.
Excellent, thank you. Nick?
Right. So, if you've spoken to her, she's identified herself as Daphne. She's about 5'4". She's got a sort of light green tint on her skin. She's bald and she's got sort of ears that are not quite elfish, but there's definitely something unusual about them. And she has a tattoo of 3 magpies to the left of her left eye. She probably seems like a very kind person on a first look. She's not. You've not seen her fighting with anyone probably or causing trouble. She's probably spent the last few days just kind of contemplating the situation. She seems quite observant. So.
Excellent, thank you. And finally, but not least, Steve.
Okay. Sevatar doesn't look out of place amongst the drow. His hair is like an oily slick, with hints of rainbow through, like a bit like a diesel leak on the road. It kind of changes like dull colours, but it's really black. His skin is a little paler than normal. But nonetheless, he kind of looks, he's kind of hunched down at the moment with his arms around his knees, sitting in the corner, trying to keep to himself. As he moves and shifts, you may notice, as he's obviously had any of his belongings and equipment removed, so he doesn't have much in the way of clothing. And what flesh is exposed, you can see, has some long healed, reopened and healed again, will look like lash marks or some form of punishment or a scourge perhaps. And he will have at some point had some tattoos, but the lash marks has opened them and distorted them, and what they were is unclear anymore. And yeah, he doesn't look particularly anxious. He looks just almost resigned.
Excellent. Thank you. So it isn't just you 5 in the cell. There are a number of others. There is a huge hulking orc called Ront, who is a bit of a bully, it's safe to say. The sort of being cooped up in a cage, and you're all chained as well. So you have chains, you have a belt around your waist with chains, and also a metal collar. So it makes it very hard for you to move faster than a walking pace. Very frustrating. As you know, you've had all of your equipment and components taken from you, and also those of you that are casters will be aware that inside this cell, magic and magic-like effects don't seem to work. There's some sort of enchantment or ritual on the place. Outside of the door, though, you're yet to find out. So it could be something to experiment with if you get the opportunity. There's also a surface-dwelling dwarf female called Eldeth. A number of deep gnomes. For those of you underdark would recognise them. For those of you from the surface, they would just appear like grey-skinned gnomes, but with sort of white eyes, with no clear iris, coloured iris. There's also a rather strange fish creature who seems to just spend all of his day when he's not working sitting cross-legged in some form of meditation. Doesn't seem particularly worried by his location, just seems to take it all in his stride. And then finally, probably the oddest creature is a 3-foot tall toadstool mushroom, which at first you thought was just something growing in the room, but after a period of time you see it walking around, and even you think perhaps communicating with some of the people somehow. This too seems to be a sentient being. So I shall hand over to you. You find yourselves, it's probably 9:30 at night. You're tired, you're hurting, and you're locked back in your cell. What would you like to do?
Does Civitar recognise the fish creature or what it might be?
Yes, you would recognise that it is a Kuatoa.
Yeah, okay, that's all.
Which are sentient fish humanoids that are quite common in the Underdark.
Kuatoa.
Don't start.
Tink will have been keeping an eye on people working and trying to gauge who in the group is physically the strongest, but who also might be, well, friendlier than this orc person.
So the biggest and strongest in here is most definitely this huge creature. It's rather odd. You've seen them outside of the compound, called quaggoths. The drow refer to them as quaggoths. But this one's different. He still seems to have the ferocious temper, but although you haven't spoken to him yet, you think you've heard him speak, and they're not known for speaking. And he's probably 8-9 foot tall, furry, muscly, absolutely just huge hulking beast of a creature. But again, he just seems to keep himself to himself, sits in the corner. I shall show you the picture. It's not letting me share the picture. I apologise.
My next question would be, assumably this quaggoth, despite being so big, has particularly big, heavy chains and stuff, so they can't break their own. For me, at 1 foot tall, do I have slightly lighter chains?
Your chains are, well, they're quite heavy for someone your size. They clearly don't have any made for a creature as small as you, so they are tight. But they are heavy to the point of where it probably makes it even more difficult for you to move around.
Did you say I had a ball and chain, so I couldn't really go over to him, but
You can move around, but you are dragging this thing around with you. They seem worried about you flying away, so they've weighted you.
I'm gonna try and start dragging myself over to him.
Okay.
I don't think I mentioned my character's a woman, but she is. So it just occurred to me.
Yeah, so as you this metal ball and chain behind you, up towards this pile of hay, you see this huge quaggoth, and you realise that he's actually got a pair of shorts on, tied at the waist. Which the other things, they're kind of bestial creatures that the drow use as muscle. This one seems somewhat different, but as you approach, he lets out this sort of guttural growl and just snarls at you.
My main issue here is that I don't have dark vision and can't see beyond this point.
Yeah. He's in there somewhere. You can see this. You can see this sort of shadow around here somewhere. It's more like a silhouette. He's 8 times your height,
Oh,
and as you approach, he takes a step forward.
keep calm.
And then another.
I want to talk.
And he seems to realise that you can't see.
Can you come over here? Because I can't see.
Steps into the light. And now you can see him. He's got this huge muscular frame, these massive claws that are inches long on the end of each finger. But his face seems, I don't know, there's almost an intelligence behind his eyes. He leans right down. He has to crouch and then lean some more. Hello, dear girl. Who are you?
So you know
And the
about
voice does not. The voice does not fit. The voice does not fit the body.
So immediately there's shock on her face as she says, well, my name's Tink. Who are you?
Prince Derendrill, at your service, my lady. A pleasure. One of the Fae, I believe.
Sort of. A prince. Well, I guess I should. And she'll sort of bow.
I never expected to meet one of the Fae realms down here. I have to be honest. Pleasure. Absolute pleasure. What brings you here? How did you come to be held in such a dire place?
They found me while I was scavenging. What about you?
Well, it may come as a surprise to you, but I am in fact an elf. And unfortunate result of a curse. I'm very far from home. My home is in the High Forest. I don't know if you know it. Well, so I'm doubly cursed, really. Captured by these despicable drow and turned into this horrendous beast. And the longer I spend in this form, the more I feel the beast taking over. So if I have any outbursts, I apologize.
Well, whatever you look like, you are you. But speaking of this bestial form, I was wondering, you look very strong. Do you think you could help break my chains?
Is that wise? I'm sure. And he points at the stain on the floor. That was the last person that tried to escape.
Yes, I know. I've been watching the guards for a few days, and you, and have come up with a plan, and I think we could help each other.
Well, very well. Do you want me to break them now, or do you want to share the plan? Is everyone in on the plan?
No, I just you.
Oh, so just you and I are escaping. Leave the rest here.
Well, I suppose everyone will get out once I open the doors.
Well, I mean, I'm not as bright as I was when I was an elf, but I'm still not sure. There's quite a lot of drow out there, and quite a lot of things that look like me.
Well, then you'll be able to blend in.
More. I have to get naked to blend in, and that's embarrassing.
It's a small price to pay for freedom.
Well, that's small.
Share the plan then. I'm not I'm not so sure I'm comfortable with this, but you are very small, so perhaps you're very clever. I don't know.
I don't understand why small would equal clever, but yes, I am. And once I'm not bound by these chains, I can slip through the bars there.
Okay, you want me to break them now, then?
You are right. It's a bit of a. There should be
I mean,
more
I
to the
don't
plan.
want to. I understand you can't see in here very well, but there are a number of drow in here, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're spies to find out what we're up to, and then so we can be punished doubly hard later. So just be careful. And he points into the darkness where you can't see. They're in there.
Well, you might have mentioned that earlier.
Not as
Perhaps
quick as I was.
if we spoke to some of the others, they could cause a bit of a distraction, which would allow us to get away.
As you're having your little conversation, you see this gnome wander up. He's got the really friendly face and this weird little cheeky grin. Bald head, massive earring in one of his ears. And he sort of wanders up and goes, I bet you 10 gold she gets smushed the moment she steps outside. Anyone? 10 gold. I mean, I don't have 10 gold now, but I always pay my debts. So anyone? 10 gold. She gets smushed.
Or I could just leave you all in here. Then you'll never know if I got smushed or not.
It's only a bet. No need to get offended. It's pretty dull in here.
Well, are you going to be helpful?
No.
I bet you 5 gold he can break the chains. He'll take me up on that. I'll owe you 5 gold if he doesn't.
Can I hear this
God, isn't-
conversation by any chance? Sorry.
Yeah, oh yeah, and it's not secret.
It's away from the doors, but yeah.
Yeah, the Quaggoth is not capable of talking quietly. He's just so big. Even when he's whispering, he sounds quite loud.
Gold isn't of any use to us whilst we're in here. You might think of betting something more useful.
I haven't got anything else.
Malice will step forward and she'll be like, I'll take your ears. Ears are always useful.
You want to bet my ears?
Well, why not?
I prefer to bet gold. It's not very lucky to lose your ears.
Well, as the tiny one said, there's not much use for gold here. So either be quiet or be useful.
I have an
And
iron
she'll
bar.
step back.
He wanders off.
Who said that? Who was an iron bar?
Drayden will be like just sitting in a pile of hay, being like, "I found a bar in here. I'll bet that."
I think you would be better off using it as some sort of weapon.
Oh, I'm not exactly strong-armed.
I'll accept your bet of iron bar, and I'll put 10 gold down.
Do you have 10 gold?
No, but I'll pay you back when I do.
Just
Sounds
up
like
now.
we're getting out of here.
Wait, so if I don't get smushed, I can have his ears?
I'm not betting
Yes.
my ears.
The bet has already been made. You're so desperate to place down 10 gold. Well, some of us won't accept 10 gold, so your ears seem perfectly acceptable. I could take your nose instead.
You know, a wager is two-way, and it tends to be friendly. Don't think you're quite getting it.
Getting the feeling you're not from around here.
Well,
Your
no.
ears is a friendly wager. They just take your
couldn't
skin.
be further away from here. If you want my ears, then I'm afraid there's no bet, which is a shame, but fair enough. Fair enough. You'll see as you're all talking, you'll see this red-haired surface dwarf, walk up, and she's got quite a warm smile. She looks very friendly. She walks up, nods, sort of puts a hand on Derendil as if she knows him, and hi, everyone all right? I know it's been a bit troublesome last couple of days with drow. My name's Eldith. I'm from Gauntlegrim. Where are you all from?
Waterdeep.
That's not too far from my home. How did you come to be in this hellhole?
I was very, very smart. She looks at her ironically.
Yeah, aye. I was smart too, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Ah, well, nice to meet you. Sorry for the circumstances.
How did you end up here again?
Well, I was on a trade delegation to, I don't know if you know it, the Blingdenstone is a deep gnome settlement quite far away from here. And yeah, we were buying spell gems from Blingdenstone, and my caravan was captured, and unfortunately I am the only one to survive, and I've been brought here to clean and toil and waste my life, it seems.
If you were to get out of here, would you know your way to Blingdenstone?
I'll be honest, I'm assuming that we are quite far east of where I come from, and far east of Blingdenstone. I'll be honest, I don't know where I am. If we could get to, I believe there is a Durgar settlement, which I do know. If we could get there, I could get us to Blingdenstone, I'm sure. But again, I don't know where we are, so I don't know how to get there.
Is it safe to assume you're all planning an escape from here?
I'll be honest with you, I've been here a few weeks. I've been waiting for an opportunity. You know, we got the big guy. Thinks he's an elf. What can we do?
The
The opportunity has not presented itself, but I'm open to ideas.
Yeah, I had some ideas before, but not an actual plan. Just a sort of vague direction of a plan. I'd rather not die as part of it.
Aye, and that's the problem.
So if we live here, you're saying you can take us to Durga settlement?
Well, if we can get to the Durgar settlement, I know my way from there, but I don't know
how do we
get
from
there? Here.
Right. Does anyone else in here know how to get to the Durga settlement? That has no name, apparently.
It's called Gracklstug.
Does anyone know how to get to Gracklstone?
I would know how far it is. Would I know how to actually get there?
You could probably navigate there. You'd know how long it would take. So you would know that in this area of the Underdark, there's an area called the Dark Lake. Now, lake is probably a bit of a misleading description because it is a huge lake area, but it's full of tunnels and islands and swamps and all sorts of different things. And a lot of the settlements of the larger settlements, if you like, are around the edge of this Dark Lake. You should have a map in your journal.
I've got a list, but I've not got a map as far as it's showing me at the moment.
If you look into journal, it's called partial map. Oh, you're right. You haven't got access to it. There you go. There you go.
And if you're talking of ways out, then I would like to be included. I know magic has no effect in this area, but I'm no stranger to navigating a lock.
Well, that sounds like it could be useful.
Yeah, so you can unlock the door. Sorry, Malise, did you actually tell us you can navigate there?
Yes, I can get us there. It's about 28 days travel. It is quite a long journey. Just to get us to Grapplestone.
Well, then you're definitely coming with us.
Anywhere is better than here.
I can't agree with you more. It's hell, and I am pretty sure when I was dropped off, this cell was empty, and it's gradually filled up. So I am pretty sure at some point there will be some sort of people coming to take us to the Drow city. Can't remember the name of it, but I'm sure the Drow will know. Once we go there, we got no chance. So I don't know how long we've got, but should probably make a plan while we can.
Does anyone have ideas?
I will have been watching the guards whilst we're in the cell every night. Would I have worked out who has the keys? Or where they are?
Yeah, so roll an investigation check for me.
First roll.
Make it count.
Natural one. No, wait. Natural one!
Get it out the way.
You're pretty sure that they changed the guards at some point, but there's one with scars on his face, and then you're not sure who the other ones are. You haven't quite figured out who the officers are and who the soldiers are, and there's definitely some keys, but they seem to change hands. You haven't figured out who's got them or where they're kept at the moment.
Has anyone noticed a pattern between the guards and who has the keys? Because if I can get out of here, I could probably bring us the keys.
But if you get caught being out of here, then what's going to happen to you?
Well, then I die and you don't.
Okay. Are you willing to sacrifice your life for the rest of us?
Oh, it won't be a sacrifice. If I let you all out of here, you will all owe me.
Yeah, but what if you die in the process, then there will be a sacrifice.
Well,
and for nothing, because if you die, it means you've been captured, so you are not able to let us out.
But I will have tried, and I'm not foolish enough to think I can make it out of here on my own.
Then I will come close to you and kind of are you sort of flying at a eye level? Or are you quite lower?
Yeah. Eye level for a regular heighted person.
Let's save the heroics for when they're actually needed. And there might be a more sensible plan for us to get out of here where you don't die.
Oh, I wasn't planning on it.
Oh, you never plan
I
on
think
dying.
this makes sense. I agree with her. We need weapons, we need food, we need armor, we need, things to cast spells. I can't do spells, but I'm sure some of you can. You look the sort.
And all of that is out there.
But is there anyone
not
that does not need those things? Yeah.
Fella over there said he had an iron bar. What else do we all have? I managed to swipe this piece of silken rope before I got slung in. Anybody else got anything?
Malice
what do
will
you-
kind of reach back, and from the back of her head, she'll pull out a very large spider.
Living?
Yeah, he's alive, happy as can be.
I'm sorry, Matt. Where do you say I can see what I've got? Can't see.
Should be in your background. So in journals,
Right.
where is it? There's a little background document. It should say,
Yeah.
it's under player information.
Yeah.
So if you've scavenged anything so far, it will be in there.
Thank you.
What you scavenged. Yeah. So you yeah, it's in there. I won't say it out loud. It's up to you whether you want to say.
I'm sure I will once I find it. Yeah. Yeah, got it. Thank you.
You see Darren Dill, the Quaggoth, he kind of puts his hand up like that, like a school kid does when they want to speak. You're all talking, he just puts his hand up. I don't need any weapons, if that's useful.
Well, we could give you the iron bar to try and bust through the gate or something. Unless you fancy trying to rip it out yourself.
I mean, I can have a go. I'm a lot stronger than I was, but I'm not. Well, yes, I'm not as bestial as the ones out there.
Maybe we
I
should
don't
try
need any
the
weapons
subtle
either.
approach first.
Who else needs weapons? Who else definitely needs weapons and armor? Because I don't need either.
Feel more
I
comfortable with a sharp blade.
would not say no to armor, but mainly I would just need to get out of this cell. Then at least I'd be able to use what powers I do have.
Same with me, so we should go first if we're to go out. We're going to need to protect the rest of you until we get you the equipment you need.
All right, so are we saying we're going for it? We're just going to go out, see what we can get, or are we going to try and get a few more things to aid our escape? Have we got lock picks or something we can pick the lock with? That drow fella, sorry, didn't catch your name, said he could pick locks. Sevatar. Aye, but are you going to lead us straight out into an ambush and get us all shivved for trying to escape? Is this some kind of trick? Because, no offence, but I wouldn't put it past you a lot. You play funny games like that.
I mean, the statement
That's
is
a fair
accurate.
comment.
Once again, if you can free me, I could slip through the bars and see whether there's an ambush outside.
No need to get tetchy. No need to get tetchy. Would you like me to try?
If this is happening now, and I'll look around at the rest of the group.
See if we can do it quietly. Just let the moth go.
If there's someone we don't trust, I can try to read them.
Did you just call me a moth?
Little flying thing. Talking moth.
I am not a moth. I am not an insect.
Well, my apologies.
I'll remember that.
What are you? Well, subject.
At this moment, an ally, so don't annoy me.
I'm in more sort of you know what? Never mind. Definitely will turn to sorry, names. They're drowned. It's got issues. Let's just wait.
Little moth syndrome.
I would not use the word moth. She looks very angry.
She does have this scowl on her face.
Yes. No, it's not a good idea.
As you're all talking, you realise there's a drow sat on a pile of hay, and he just seems to be sat with his head on his knees. He's not really sure if he's listening. He doesn't seem very present, and he just he looks up. He's kind of quite pale for a drow. He's got red eyes, long white hair, and just this pained, furrowed brow. And he just looks up and says, "Are you all going to talk all night? I have such a headache. I really could just do with getting some sleep. You're going to get yourself killed."
So if we do make an escape, are you just staying in the cage?
No, but you really think we're just going to walk out of here?
I wasn't planning to just walk, I was planning to run, preferably.
What would you suggest, friend?
You even know the way?
Do you?
Do you?
Well, I know there's 3 exits from here. One goes to Menza Baranzan, which I'm guessing you don't want to go to.
I want to go there.
What's there?
More drow.
A
No.
lot more drow.
It's a big city. It's where we'll all be going to work the rest of our lives. Short lives.
It seems to me you've completely given up.
I'm here for murder, and I have murdered no one.
So would you not want to escape? Given the chance?
I would love to escape, but this sounds like folly. No plan. You're just gonna let this little one go and hope that she comes back for us? If she's got any sense, she'll just fly off, up the middle tunnel, off you go. Don't come back.
Noted.
What's in the middle tunnel?
Well, that one doesn't go to Menza Baranzan. Western Tunnel also doesn't go to Menza Baranzan.
Are you going to tell us?
She knows. She knows where they go, and he nods at Malice.
Oh, then we don't need you, so you can sit here and rot. Malice, was it?
Yes, little one.
Please
And
don't
what was
call
your
me
name?
that. My name is Tink. Where do the tunnels lead?
Well, they lead to different places, don't they? It's the joy of tunnels. But if we get out of here, I'm sure I can lead the way.
Is there anyone without trust issues that can help me out in this?
See, Darren puts his massive clawed hand up again. Me, dear boy? Dear girl, sorry.
Definitely will just eye him up and down and go, would you like to go first if we were to escape?
If you think it's wise, be my honour. You seem very pleasant.
We do, don't we?
Well,
Okay.
well, you do, yes. Everyone else is a bit abrasive, but except Eldith, she's a good one.
This is a highly tense situation for all of us. Can I just remind you that whatever is to follow this prison is, well, as my new friend said, worse than hell itself. So we might have hope to escape, I'm assuming all of you are going to screw us over, given a chance. I don't think there's any reason sitting here arguing whether any of us would give our lives for each other. I know none of you would for me. I probably wouldn't for you. So if we just all dash out together and hope for the best and stick together best as we can. Some of us know the way out, some of us know a safe place to go. There's a variety of skills between us. The fact is, just one of us would not be able to survive this escape plan. I'm not asking you to trust each other. I'm just asking you to trust that we all want to get out of here, and we need each other. And as I said, I'm willing to go first, if that helps with all of your trust issues.
The way
As you're talking, sorry, the little mushroom kind of waddles towards you. It's probably about 3 foot tall, 2.5, 3 foot tall. Kind of waddles into the middle of you, and then gives this little jiggle, and then there's a big of spores in about a 15-foot radius. So everyone in the centre here, you just see these little tiny glowing green spores just into the air. And then you just, you suddenly feel your minds all connect. It just feel like tick, 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 tick. All these little links form. And you just hear this little voice. Stool wants to go home.
Someone named Stool.
Stool wants to go home.
Oh, I get it.
Stool.
Because he's a toadstool.
Well, the way I
Where
see
is
it,
home?
Everlight Grove. That's my home.
Do you
It's
know
peaceful.
Do you know how to take us there, Stool?
I can sense it. I know the direction, but I don't know the road.
How far away can you sense that it is?
I can sense it now. I can sense it even now.
How far away
We
are
are
we?
far. We are far, far away from it. I do not know how many cycles, but we are far, far away.
More or less than 28 days. Ballpark.
More. I think more.
Okay, we'll scratch that.
and how
Peaceful there.
that's all very well, but how can you help us to escape? Do you have any skills?
This one? You hear the voice in your head. You realise that the speech is in your head. And you also realise that everyone else speaking, you suddenly sort of get these 2 extra voices in there. And at first you think that they're speaking another language, but then it just suddenly makes sense. We would go to Blingdenstone. Yes, we would. Yes, we would. And it's 2 voices, but they kind of intertwine, finish each other's sentences. Take us to Blingdenstone. We will lead you there. We know the way.
That's a pretty good
And then
skill
these-
thing.
How is that? I don't quite understand how that works. How?
We have melded. We are melded. We can speak for a time in any language. My people do not have a language, but I understand yours now. You understand mine.
Tink
You
is
hear my
going.
thoughts as words.
Tink will flutter over and start just curiously looking the creature up and down.
Show you a picture. He basically looks like a 3 foot tall mushroom, but when you actually crouch down beneath the cap, you can see this kind. It's not really a face, but you can see this kind of something that might be eyes, but they're not really eyes. You can see a little slit of a mouth, and you can see that it's got two really stumpy legs, almost like an elephant, and then these tiny little hands which are kind of haven't grown out of the toadstool yet. It looks very young, whatever it is.
Well, yes, that could be useful. Okay.
Please take stool.
Darendil, you're the biggest of us. I assume you can move the fastest. Could you ensure you take stool if we manage to get out of here? I don't think those...
Yeah, I'm not that quick. I apologise. I find it a bit cumbersome with these legs. They bend the wrong way, don't you know? I mean, how they get by, I don't know, with them bending the wrong way. I find it a little bit difficult, but I'm really sorry, but stool is very slow. No offence, stool. Stool is little, stool is slow.
You carry stool.
If you wish. If you wish. I mean, he is useful. He has been useful for some of the language barriers. The two deep gnomes over there, I think, I don't know, I can't remember what their names are. We call them Topsy and Turvy because their names are very long and tedious to pronounce. But they speak gnomish, but with stool, no problem. Very useful.
I'm definitely in favour of stool.
How long would this last? The being able to understand each other.
It lasts for a time, 10, 15 minutes. I'm not really sure. I mean, we don't really have long conversations. Normally we'd be getting shot at by now. Not sure what's going on out there. Seems very quiet. He can do it a number of times a day. I've seen him do it 2 or 3 times in a day. So it's quite common. Sorry, I'm just checking how long it is. Sorry, it's an hour. So you're all linked for an hour.
Anybody seen, if we get through the cell doors, what are we likely to be facing? And I'll look to that drow that just spoke to us to see if he knows as well. He seemed quite knowledgeable. And the little Nerflemblin, or whatever you call him, and all those folk that are talking to us. If anybody can give us more information about our surroundings and what's around.
So the drow he's sort of clearly realised that he's not getting any sleep tonight. Everyone's having a good chat. He's just sighs and said, "Oh, you really are giving me a headache. Can we do this tomorrow?" Right. So you've probably seen that the buildings are in stalactites hanging from the ceiling with wooden walkways between. There is a waterfall that drops, I'm not sure how far, down to the floor below, and the water is above the water is plenty of spider webs with giant spiders. It's a I mean, every route is treacherous. There is a lift, though. There is a lift down to the ground. But it's usually manned by his sort, and he points at Derendil, but not quite so polite ones. It's a guard tower opposite. There's usually 2 or 3 in there. I think there's a guard outpost just above us to the north. They watch the road to Menza Baranzan.
Do you know where our stuff might be?
I would imagine Mistress Ilvara has kept that. She no doubt will go through it and keep the best bits for herself.
What about this field or dampening effect? Do you know where the limit of that might be? Is it there's just the cell doors, or does it extend further?
I can't work magic, so I don't know, but I can't imagine it's the whole settlement. It must just be in here.
It only feels like the cell.
Outside of the cell, we should be able to use magic. There appears to be a perimeter.
Good to know.
If
Those that
we,
can.
I mean, it might be wise to. I don't know how we would do it, but get the lay of this place. I have a rough idea, but I don't know how many guards there are. I don't know what security there is. Do any of you know? It's difficult.
although
We have no weapons and no food.
Right. Let's not panic.
Slubladoop is the nearest settlement that I know of, and even that is days travel.
Slobladoop?
Days.
That's the nearest. That should be our target, I think.
His people live there, and he points at the strange Guratoa sat in a cross-legged position with his hands out, meditating. He hasn't got his eyes closed, by the way, because he can't blink. His eyes are just permanently open, so he doesn't look that relaxed, but you can only assume he is.
I've seen roughly 19 drow wandering around.
I don't think we can take 19 drow.
I've probably seen about a dozen quaggoth. And as our drow friend here says, a number of giant spiders on the outskirts.
I think they're to stop people going down to the webs and or into the water. They're not trained, but they don't need to be.
So the first question is, which one of us can fight without any weapons or armor? At least well enough. So we don't
You see Derendil put his finger up again. As if he wants to speak. Me?
I can.
Okay, so 3 of us. Anyone else?
I might be able to help, but I would not say it would be my strong suit.
The 3 of us, that's Derendil, you see him sort of counting his fingers. That's 6 each then. 6 and a
we're not gonna try to kill all the drows here. No. We're just gonna
There are a mix of roles that they play as well. So there are those who are, shall we say, priestesses, but lesser priestesses than Ilvara. Then you have her guards. If you were to come across Shaw or Jorlan, they are more elite warriors, and they will cause us far more trouble than we are able to handle.
So basically, we have very vague information about what's happening out of this cell. We're going to have to decide on the spot what we're doing. We're not going to have any time to argue with each other. Does everyone understand the circumstances?
Well, one thing this place is not short of is shadows. I think fighting is a very last resort. We're vastly outnumbered and we're ill-equipped. If we can, I think our best hope is to remain undetected for as long as possible.
Okay, so plan A is to go sneak out undetected. And if that goes wrong, what do we do? Some of us can fight.
Why are people rolling?
Savitar, as you're talking, you stood by the gates trying to sort of peep through. You see Jorlan approaching from a distance, walking from the north towards the gate. He stands probably about 5 feet away from the gate. He just peeps in. You can see his face. You can see one of his eyes is just milky white. His face is kind of melted and scarred, and he walks with quite a pronounced limp.
Okay.
Are you lot still up? You know you've got to be working at 5 a.m. tomorrow. I suggest you get some sleep.
What kind of you to suggest?
Quick glance, anything about his person? Keys, weapons?
Yeah, roll another perception for me. Yeah, with that roll, you don't see any keys. He definitely appears to be one of the more elite warriors that Malice has talked about. He's wearing studded leather armor. You can see he actually has a shield on his back on a hook. He's got a short bow and a very small crossbow, which seems to be strapped to his arm, such that he can probably switch quite quickly between his shield and the crossbow and use both. He doesn't appear to. You can't see any keys, but you can see a pouch on his belt.
Well, what's brought on this kindness? Apologies, but we're not used to that from the guards.
Not kindness, it's just I don't care. I really don't care. Do what you like. And he just wanders off.
It seems like you do care. Excuse me.
Do you see him sort of disappear?
Sorry, I thought you'd
down
be
the
dumber.
steps? And he heads off.
So he seems like a liability, doesn't he? For them.
Well, if we're doing any sneaking, we need to get on the damaged side.
I think you can unlock this door.
I think I can, but I'd need some form of tool, any kind of wire, or anybody have anything on their person that might function like that? Piece of cutlery, or
I'm afraid I don't.
The drow sort of looks up. Our things are out there somewhere.
Yes, but out there doesn't help in here.
If he has lockpicks, then they're here somewhere. Perhaps if you really mean to do this, then maybe we need to gather some things.
well, like I
We'll
say,
be working tomorrow. They'll split us up,
this is
as they always do.
everything I have, and I throw the silken rope. It's only 5 foot worth. It's not very long at all. But I throw that onto the floor in sort of the middle of where we're all standing. I'm hoping everybody else will do the same, but I don't wait to find out to see if that happens. I'll try and wander over to the Kuatoa.
I'll throw in a carnelian gemstone.
A gold piece.
Jordan will throw in his rusty iron pipe.
Malice
That's
is just
demoted.
cradling the spider, not quite willing to put him in the pile.
It was an iron bar, now it's a rusty pipe.
Well, it's the same thing.
I've started putting it in party notes, by the way, if anyone wants to add anything.
Well, it's not much, but it's a start.
And I do wonder if Jorlan, the guard that has just walked past, maybe he would be the best to
As
deal
you're
with.
talking, you see the orc walk up, just pick up the gold coin and the gem, and just walk back.
Well, if this is all we have, what was your name? The one that's good at unlocking things?
Call me Sev.
That's Seth. What about this? And she will hold up her mechanical hand and just sort of offer a pinky. I would expect it back in one piece.
Does it come off?
Would I get it back in one piece?
Well, it depends how rusty the lock is. If it's tight or jams, then I've got to warn you, I've been known to snap a lockpick or two in the past.
You're not making this sound worth.
If I break your finger, when I get my lockpicks back, I'll give you one of the tools and you can use that as a little finger.
If you break my finger, then you will owe me.
Relax, I'm good at this.
No. This is a fairy bargain. I'm doing you a favour by giving you something of mine, and you will owe me back. Do you understand?
I understand you're giving me something so that I may help you already. That's the deal. That's the deal complete. You give me the finger so that I can free you and us. Sounds like a fair trade to me. Plus, you may even get it back.
It sounds like you don't want to work together, so...
Need to try the lock, but I'm not owing anybody for trying it.
Then let's see if we can work out who has the keys. And she'll give him the proper finger and fly over to the door.
That one may be too big.
Is that now a different drow outside the door? Is it no longer Jorlan?
It is not Jorlan, yeah. You can see another drow wander by, and he sort of glances in. Can see you're all still awake.
Daphne will walk by Tink. I'm not really sure what you were trying to get out of him, but that was a fair deal as far as I can tell.
Well, if Devon can let me out of my chains, then I can let myself out of here.
Yeah,
the only reason I would give him my finger to let us all out of here is to know that we would be working together to get out of here.
It sounds like he was trying to work with us. It seems to me that in that situation you would be the one that was kind of difficult. Now I understand it's your finger and you might be a bit possessive about that kind of thing, but the grand scheme of things, us getting out of here rather than you being out there on your own exposed, I think it makes more sense for us to stick together. And he was offering to help us, and I'm not really sure what
I don't know what I want from him yet, but I'm sure I could think of something later down the line.
But doesn't he already give you something by unlocking the door? So why would you want anything more than that?
I know you were trying to convince me to give him my finger, but as I said, I could get myself out of his, so no deal.
If you could get yourself out of here, you'd already be out of here. I'm trying to convince you to get what you wanted. I'm telling you that what you wanted from him, I was probably to let you out, because you can't get out. Or you would be out. So you need him to let you out, and he needs your finger to do that. That is the exchange we're discussing.
Fine. And she'll walk over to Erendil and say, "Can you let me out of these chains?"
I can try.
Daphne
Just
just
so you
leaned
see
against the rock, just looking a little bit disappointed. Sorry.
He sort of he looks at them and he's trying to figure out what to actually do. Do I pull them or smash them on a rock, or do we use the iron bar? What?
I assumed
He
you'd be
starts.
strong enough to just pull them apart.
He just starts trying to pull. He sort of holds one of the chains that's connected to your belt, and then the other end which is connected to the iron ball, and gives it a pull, but it doesn't give. It's not. I'll try again, but it's really not giving.
Well, two of you then. Eldith, you hold one end and you pull the other.
The second time seems even worse. Yeah, so Eldith grabs one end, and are we doing this now? Are we? Okay.
Wait. I come back from trying to engage the Kurta after I see all this going on with the chains rattling and things. I don't know if this will work. We have some rope, we have a pipe. If we can maybe use some physics. Who's intelligent amongst us here? Must be able to work this out. Got the tools right in front of us to do this without brute strength.
Yeah, Drayden will turn around and kind of like acknowledge that. It's like we could probably make a weird twister, or I don't know the proper term for something like this, but like a
Windlass.
yeah. It's the same with Drayden. Drayden's clever, Jim isn't. But I'm sure we could create a sort of winch with the rope and the bar. The only problem is we have a spot of company outside.
As I was saying, if we are going to go up against any of the guards, I wonder whether Jorlan would be the safest option. The one who has the scarred face. He has recently fallen from favour, shall we say, and maybe could be convinced of inciting a little chaos.
Oh, that's useful information.
I'm not sure how well it might play out, or if he will be willing at all. But of the guards, at least he will be looking to gain favour again. So that is a risk, but it's whether he wants to gain favour with our Spider Queen or with Ilvara. I wonder whether with Ilvara he would maybe quite like revenge.
Must be something we can use.
I like the sound of revenge. I'm not too happy about being locked up here.
I think I think if we can barely trust each other, then trusting one of the guards, I just can't see how that's the solution to our problem.
I'm not saying that it would solve any issues. I'm just saying if we are to come up against one of the guards and she'll look up at the gate to make it clear that the guy who's standing there is not this guy and we should be careful of what we're doing in front of him. He's very clearly watching. We should probably pick and choose our targets,
Matt, you're
our
still on mute.
enemies, and our allies.
Yeah, this drow is putting bowls of food, really rotten looking, sort of stale bread and what looks like old mushrooms. Puts bowls through. There's 9 bowls, passes them through. And then literally gets a jug of water and pours the water into the bowls with the food. Gives you a smirk and a grin and just walks off.
Can I look
As soon
and
as
see if he has keys?
Yeah, go for it. Perception, yeah.
I have so many things open.
You see the orc walk up to the gate and picks up 3 or 4 of these bowls and just says, "Mine." Wanders back and starts eating them. Not having much luck at you.
I can't see
no,
you.
you can't.
You've made it blind.
You can't see. You can't see any keys on him. No, it's too dark and too dim for your eyes. Although there is a little light from this torch inside, it's just you can't make it out in the shadows.
I go and see our fishy friend.
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah.
Or just do a polite little cough. Sorry to interrupt your meditations, friend.
Please sit.
I will do so.
Relax. Meditate. Free your mind of all of your troubles.
Well, yes, I'm thinking more about freeing my body. What say you?
But would freeing your body mean inflicting violence upon another body?
Not if we can help it. Help us find a non-violent solution.
Non-violence is the true road to peace of mind.
Oh,
It's a road I have found. I am happy even here.
But on occasion, although you don't inflict any violence, you must know that your captors inflict much violence, even on yourself, and to extricate yourself from that situation would be much in your favour, of course. Wouldn't you agree?
The best action is inaction.
Right. If there's a way out, do you want in?
If there is a non-violent way out, then I will take it with you.
Right.
But I will not raise a hand against any sentient creature.
Okay. Good to know. Do you have anything that might assist us? Anything about your person? Any belongings that you've managed to keep hold of in here?
Well, they took no belongings from me because I had no belongings to begin with.
Of course you didn't. And how about skills? What's other than doing nothing, other than inaction? What's your forte, if you will, my friend?
I spread peace wherever I go.
Yeah, you're a peace artist. Okay, got you.
I can lead you to Slobladup if you wish, but I'm not welcome there.
Yeah, okay. Slobladup, anyone back there missing you? Friends or family?
I'm banished. They do not appreciate the ways of peace in my home.
Yeah.
I eat only of mushrooms, no offense, stool, and I will not kill any living creature. My people do not understand this.
So if you were to be free, you wouldn't want to go back to Slubladub?
I would love to go back, but I am not welcome.
Where would you go if you were granted freedom?
I would go live on the Dark Lake. Where would you go?
You know, the Dark Lake sounds beautiful this time of year. I'd probably come and live with you.
You would be very welcome. We could meditate each day, find our inner peace.
I would look forward to that. Listen, I'm going to go back over to my friends, and I'll let you get back to your meditation. Namaste.
Peace be with you.
And I leave him to it.
Okay.
Wow.
So Jordan's going to wander up next to Malice for a moment. It's like this spider that you have. Is that something that actually responds to you, or is it just something that you just found when you were working?
Just a spider. Why would it respond to me?
Some people like to have pets that will do things for them.
He's a pet and he does things. Look, he's dancing and the spider's just like there, just moving its front legs. It's just a bit
Horrible.
bored.
Do you think perhaps that your spider might be able to leave the cage that we're in and try and maybe find some keys? Because you're probably aware we don't really look that closely at spiders.
Well, he could leave the cage, but what if he doesn't come back? It's only a spider.
At least,
Good spider, but
If you love it, set it free. Sorry, I spent too long with that damn fish, man. It's rubbed off on me. Please, as you were.
yeah, as far as I'm aware, it's just a spider, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's a tarantula.
it's just a hairy spider. So
well,
I'm not quite sure what good it would be. I just keep him around because he's cute and it lightens my spirits.
well, everybody's talking about doing all these things stealthily, but we have to find decently stealthy options. I think even if we try to wrench the door open, no matter which way, it's going to make an unfortunate amount of noise. I thought a spider, perhaps they might have been able to get in and out without really raising too much suspicion. But if it's not something you can give it orders to.
No, well, I'm sure you could try talking to it, but its ability to understand might be a little bit different.
Or Droden will just look at the spider and he's like, "Can you go outside and find keys?"
Really hoping this spider has been affected by the spores.
It just sits there.
Are we actually considering sending a spider out instead of me, a sentient being?
Well, we couldn't get you free.
Then work harder on it.
And Jordan's going to walk over and try and wedge the iron bars between some of Tink's chains to see if that can get pried apart by Drendolith.
Okay.
And let's do this out of view of the front of the cage bars.
So if we can, if Sedatar can assist and make a human barrier to screen what they're doing, we'll try and do that.
Okay. The guard seems to have dumped all the food at the bars and wandered off. The orc has taken
Oh.
4 bowls for himself.
I hate that orc.
Yeah, what, are you going to try and break the bars? Roll a strength check for me, please.
Oh, I was going to get the Trigoth to do it because Jordan is not particularly strengthy.
He gets the bar and sort of wedges it in one of the links, and you can sort of see these huge arms muscling up as he starts to pry. You just see a little bit of movement in the chain, and then the bar bends and gives way. The chain doesn't break.
Little Tink is going to fly up to the big orc's face.
Okay.
And say, "You're the strongest here.
1, 2.
Help us."
Are you sort of flying around near him?
Yeah.
He
He's going to
sees you
swat
sort
at me.
of flying up in his face, and he takes a swing with the back of his hand. That is a 16. Yeah. He hits you for 4 points of bludgeoning damage as he swats you out of the air. Just a stupid little moth face, and turns his back to you and starts eating from the bowls again.
There you. And Malice goes over to Tink to check on her.
Daphne's running on the other end.
I'm fine.
You
Get off
blooded
me.
Tink.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
no, you don't look fine.
I'm fine. She's
Can
sort
we
of
see
shaking
anything?
rage.
Can we see anything of interest on the orc? I imagine he's bullied and stole probably a small fortune's worth of useless shit in this cell.
Well, he took the gem and he took the gold coin,
Yeah.
and he's taken probably nearly half of the food that was put through the gate.
Yeah, and I'm thinking he's probably done the same for other prisoners, so...
Maybe you can't see anything on him. Bit like you all, he's not got any bags or belts or anything, but yeah, he may have stashed something somewhere in the hay, or
Nothing that we can see.
we don't know where you get hay from in the Underdark, but hey.
I think you're gonna have to pick your battles.
Such a large orc, he obviously seems to prefer a goblin mentality of just stealing.
Well, let me
might
get
I
out of
suggest-
here. I hope he's the first one that dies.
You see Derendil, anyone that's looking at him, you'll see him sort of, you see his face twitching, and almost like his lips curling back, and these massive, great big, pointy, sharp teeth baring, and you can see that he's really trying to control his anger, and he just comes and stomps over next to Tink, and just 1-2 lays into this orc.
I don't think that's quite necessary. Okay, we just not. Okay.
I'm going to try and...
He's just furious. He just steams in, and this orc doesn't put him down, but you can see the orc's sort of jaw looks like it's been dislocated, and there's a massive gash across his chest where he's clawed him. This orc looks close to death, and it just kind of puts his hands up and doesn't look quite so aggressive anymore. Looks a bit pathetic. And you see Darendil bringing his hand up again as if he's about to finish him off. His face just has lost that gentle expression. He just looks like a beast now.
Daphne will try to intercept and just stop him, I suppose.
Tink will shout, "Finish him!"
Finish him.
Okay, what are you gonna do, Nick? How are you trying to?
I'm kind of gonna try to get between them. I'm not gonna try to take the hit, but I will try to just get between them. Hopefully, my face staring at him will bring him back to his senses.
Okay, so you're literally just passively just stepping in front of him and.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, you step in front of him and you see this huge muscled arm go up and then start to come down. But as you step in front, you just see like his pupils suddenly dilate again, and he snaps out of it, and you see the sort of soft, gentle expression drift over his face again. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry, and he just rather embarrassed sort of walks off into the darkness away from you.
Gonna turn to the orc and say, "Are you okay? You can speak. I assume you can speak."
Leave me alone. Just want to eat my food.
Oh well, you're not
Are you
eating
some
the food
kind
you're
of
eating.
orc?
You're eating everyone's food, unfortunately.
What are you going to do about it? Your muscle's gone now.
I can bring him back. In fact, if I hadn't made sure he was gone, he would be dead now.
You see reluctantly sort of glide 3 of the 4 bowls towards you on the floor, and then he just turns away and carries on eating from the one bowl with little blood dripping down his chest and his face.
I'm gonna take the bowls and show them to the others. Does anyone want dinner? There's 3 more.
Should.
Yeah, you see everyone sort of start wandering into the middle. Spirit's not high, but definitely higher than they were. And at that point, you see one final little guy. He's probably about 2.5 foot tall. Doesn't look like a deep gnome though. Ignore the weapons. He clearly has no weapons. He's got kind of slightly crazy expression on his face. It's got these really big eyes and this kind of slightly surprised look on his face. Ah, dinner! It is me, Bupido. I would like to eat right now.
Oh my god. Matt.
Sorry. I had to kill this guy in the other campaign because they kept talking to him over and over again.
I wonder why.
I wonder why.
Please come join us. We'd love to speak to you.
He's the MVP now.
Mission protect this character.
Yeah, it always happens. It's my own fault. Please, food for Bupido. Why do you laugh?
I'll give him one of the bowls.
Thank you, green one.
Okay.
I am Bupido.
My name's Daphne.
I'm invincible.
How are you?
I am invincible.
Okay. Do you want to go first when we try to escape?
No. I'm quite happy to go first. I am invincible.
Okay. I'll use you as a shield.
You also need TP, Peter.
I think V's broken.
Oh, hi, Torpedo. Sorry, who are you looking at? Me? Hey, no. Okay, never mind.
When do we escape then? Tell me of your plan.
It's still under construction. Someone
Wait,
of your obvious tactical prowess would be welcome your input.
we didn't know we had you when we were coming up with a plan. Now that we know, it's a really different ball game.
I didn't want to take over too quickly. I thought you might feel a little inferior. Can't look at
yes.
Veronica.
He looks like he's strung out on a lot of things.
He does, yeah. He looks like he's been taking a lot of substances all at the same time. He's about 2.5 foot tall. He looks more like a dwarf than a gnome, but he's very small. I think the drow in the party would recognise him as a drow, which are a kind of underdark dwarf, and generally they're quite bonkers.
Excuse me, sorry. What did you say your name was?
Are you deaf? It is Bupido.
But
I am the great Bupido.
I'm trying to be serious, but I can't. Do you happen to have some way of being able to get us out of this cell? Any tools or anything on you that we could use?
Bupido is invincible, not an escape artist.
Well, I'm sure
Sadly.
you're very, very talented and could probably be an escape artist if you so chose.
I mean, I'm good. I'm not that good.
Okay. If you don't have any tools or anything on you, nothing that you've managed to hide during your time here?
Prison wallet,
No.
for example.
I have nothing. I need nothing. I am invincible.
Yeah.
Okay.
You get the doors open. I am with you.
Do you know how to keep your voice a bit lower than that level?
This is whispering. No?
That's right.
Okay.
No.
I can talk through the mushroom.
Yes, that would be. Yeah, please.
Yes, because the last thing we need is an LSD trip with his voice in our head.
So you see, so you're still connected to Stool in your minds, and Stool obviously realizes that you want to connect to Bupido, and there's the little luminous green spot. Veronica's still broken. There's these luminous green spores in the air again, and you suddenly hear, "Hello, it is me. I am in your head now."
Oh God.
It's just as loud in your head.
I have a plan. Troden stood at the gate. Like, okay, so we're here in a cell where most of us do hard labor in the mornings. We have an orc who is effectively dying. So I think we could probably convince the guards to come in to check on their dying largest laborer. So I think we could probably call the guards to the gate to come and check it out. But we could also ask Pedo to really ham up how injured this orc is and how close to death it might be. So,
Why Bupido?
because I want to hear you wailing and crying about a dying orc in Pedo's voice. But that's an option. One of the guards may come in to investigate all the blood and everything, and we can jump them then.
That is a good plan. Hey, listen. Is there an echo in here? Echo, 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 echo. Hi, kid.
Quite.
Don't think there is really echo in your head. It was a joke. Anyway, Bupido will eat. And he sort of wanders off, but you can still feel his mind connected in yours. It's kind of itchy. Something slightly uncomfortable about being connected to his brain.
It seems we've gone back to the violence option again.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we jumped back to that. I thought the plan was to sneak out, avoid combat, if possible.
I mean, Torpedo thinks he's invincible. Why not let him put that to the test? Maybe we can start some kind of a ruckus. If he thinks he can take on all those guards by himself, then who are we to stop him?
I didn't say I could kill them all. I just said I could not be killed.
Well, yeah,
there is
so
a difference.
That's a good enough.
I'm pretty crap in a fight.
That's
So if we
good.
were
I mean,
to,
just you not being killable is a good distraction. No, he'll spend hours trying to kill you.
Well, it still hurts. I don't want to get hurt.
are you suggesting we split our groups and Torpedo tries to attract all the attention while we sneak out? Invincible as he might be, that will still probably hurt a lot.
Yes, and Popedo does not like to be alone. I'm going to have to turn the cameras off because Veronica's dying.
Can we establish
Right,
the shape
so-
of this cell? Is it just a cavern and there's only one entrance with the bars on? Or are there more bars elsewhere? Or
as far as you can see, it's not a natural cavern, it is a carved out cavern. And yeah, there is one entrance in and out that you found anyway.
okay.
You do hear kind of grunting and bestial noises from the bottom wall, as if there's maybe something next door. Doesn't sound very pleasant, whatever it is.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't be keen on that then.
So, just to make you aware, so you're now approaching 11 p.m., which, based upon when you were woken up to go to work, means if you don't if you choose not to have a long rest now, you may get points of exhaustion tomorrow if you don't take it. But it's up to you, or you can take it later. But you are getting to the point where you've sort of been awake since 5 a.m.
Oh yeah, I forgot we'd already done the day, haven't we?
Right.
Okay, yeah, well, I'm happy to get my head down. I'll only need 4 hours anyway, as with most of you, I think.
Can I suggest?
I just wanted to make you aware. It's
Yeah.
your call.
Can I suggest we spend tomorrow trying to see if we can recover any more resources for wherever we're working, or try to pay attention, see if we can get a better lay of the land. And
We have another day's work ahead of us tomorrow, or we'll be heading to Menza Branson.
good question. Are we?
Those of us that can use magic are free to use it outside of the cell as well, I believe. So it might be slightly more advantageous for us to try and sneak away.
During the day?
I did not catch that, I'm sorry.
Because I reckon we'd all be split.
It may happen.
But if we can get you something that you can use Jagger to unlock the doors, then we have a better chance tomorrow. Try to sneak out, maybe take down just the one guard that's outside.
Transport is already late. It could arrive any day. It could arrive tomorrow.
I'd still
So is
say,
it?
carry on. Sorry.
Oh no! I was just going to say. So is it now or never? Do we think that this is our last chance to escape?
We've been working all day. It's late now. If we go for this now, who knows when we'll get a chance to stop again. We're going to need to run through the night. Maybe all day the next day. We're not giving ourselves the best chance, I don't think, if we do this now. I think we should get some rest.
I wonder, could it actually be easier to escape from the transport?
That's what I'm thinking. Or when they move us out of the cell, the doors are open, there's lots of people milling around. More
But
opportunities.
that also means there are more people around, which means there could be more people to have to deal with to be able to escape.
There's not going to be a good option for this. Just the best
Just
chance.
try when most people are asleep, no?
So we take our chances.
Sleep. Guards are always on rotation. We'll never be without guard. But in the daytime, there'll be more prisoners, more distraction, more places for the guards' eyes to be. Plus, outside of a cell, no magic barrier.
None for us, none for them.
What kind of work have we been doing?
Mostly like cooking food, or they'll get you to do like really demeaning stuff like stack rocks in piles and then they'll knock them over and make you do it again. They've had you coiling ropes up and then uncoiling them and then coiling them up again. In fact, recently they tied Tink onto the end of a rope and lowered you over the edge to retrieve some lost things out of the spider webs. And you did come quite close to a very large spider taking a chunk out of you. And they just seemed to find it funny. It was almost like a game to them.
But we could get a fork.
Do we get searched when we're brought back to the cell?
Do you get searched? Not always, only if they suspect something.
Well, we are acting quite suspicious at the moment, aren't we? So maybe
Moi?
Maybe sleep is the best option.
I will. Elder sort of pipes. I could do with some kip, and if Ron didn't bleed to death in the night, then he probably could do with the rest. So the plan is to try and get lay of land and see if we can get some stuff to help us escape. Is that right? Is that what you're saying?
I think
Just so I'm clear.
I think so.
That was my suggestion, yes.
Aye. Well, you folks clearly know what you're doing, and I'm with you. So, if you need me to do something, you just say. But can I ask a favour? I mean, I know many of you are not surface dwellers, but is it Daphne? Are you from surface?
Yes.
It's a lot to ask, and you can say no, but if when this happens, I've got a daughter in Gauntlegrim, and if you're ever there and something happens to me, I would just ask that you tell them where I fell, and if we can get my shield back, I think my daughter would very much appreciate it. I know it's a lot to ask, but
No,
you're the first surface person I've met.
Can't promise you I'll do it, but I can promise you I'll try.
We got all
So
Grim
I
is
can
on the
ask.
surface.
It's near surface, aye.
Oh, okay.
It's not on surface, but it's close.
What's your daughter's name?
No.
And her daughter. And her daughter's daughter.
Aye. My daughter's name is Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn Fellrunner. I'm Eldith Fellrunner at your service.
Oh, I can't make you an oath. I don't like those, but I can try.
That's all I can ask. Obviously, I don't want you to risk your life for it, but
Probably will anyway.
I've been missing a while now, and she'll probably think I'm dead. It'd be nice to make it out, but if I don't, it'd be nice for her to know that I died trying.
How long have you been here?
Well, I've been out travelling for probably 2 months, two weeks of which have been here. Kind of lose track.
And when did you last see your daughter?
Three months ago. She's only 9. She just started having sword lessons and learning to defend herself.
Well, like she said, if I'm ever in Grim.
Sounds like
Thank
a
you,
smart
lass.
kid.
Aye, she's done me proud. She's very clever, very brave. It's all that any dwarf could ask, eh?
By any person, really.
Aye, she's very honourable. At such a young age, it warms the heart. But I wouldn't want her to come down here. It's no life, is it?
So why does she want to be a fighter when she grows up? Is that why she's training?
Aye, well, a lot of my family are scouts. You know, we do reconnaissance and such, and that was my job down here, was scouting out. But obviously it went very wrong. I think the rest of my caravan are all dead. I haven't seen any other dwarves here.
Does she want to follow in your footsteps then?
Aye, but I don't think I wanted to.
But she
I'd
feels
rather she found a fortune on the surface.
Does she
Safer
feel?
up there.
Does she feel an obligation to perhaps do what you're doing?
I hope not, but who can say? I never thought about it like that. I wish I could ask her now.
I'll
You
ask
see
her. I'll ask her when I see
face
her.
sort of soften, and she looks quite sad. I'm gonna get some sleep. When the time is right, and let me know. I'll see what I can get tomorrow on jobs.
I apologize if I upset you.
No, it's it's natural to miss your friends and family, isn't it?
Suppose it
At
can
least
be.
she's up there and she's safe. All right, night, Daphne. Tink, thanks. She wanders off, goes and lies down on some of the rough bedding. Okay, what would everyone like to do? I've gone from laughing, crying to looking all sad now. Looking at all your sad faces.
I would like to marry Pepito.
You
I
said
will
that in your mind because he would have
I
heard
will
it.
appreciate that. More than happy to be part of that ceremony.
This is going to be a very different kind of campaign than I thought it was going to be.
Yes. I know. I was maybe bluffing with you earlier. Okay. What would everyone like to do? You feel yourselves growing tired. It has been a long day.
Daphne's calling it a night.
Okay.
Yeah, same with Sev. Finish off. Slurp in the last dregs of whatever slop that was in that bowl, just to try and keep his strength up. And hit the hay.
Yeah. Okay. All of the others seem to wander off. You see Stall just wander off to a corner and sit down. The drow with the headache sort of wanders off as well, and grumbling that you've kept him up so late. And everyone beds down. You can have the benefit of a long rest. Those of you that need it. Malice, as everyone drops off to sleep and you are missing your comfortable bed, you find yourself sort of struggling to drop to sleep, and as you slowly feel yourself drift off, you feel this sort of gentle, it's almost like someone just putting an arm around you as you sleep. And for a moment, it's actually quite comforting and quite nice. And then you think, hang on, what is that? And as you move your hand down to touch it, you realise that it doesn't feel like skin. It's got this sticky, slimy sort of texture to it. There's no hand on the end. It just feels like some sort of tentacle. You feel it slowly slip underneath your rib cage and start to curl around you. And you involuntarily let out this cry as this thing squeezes. You just feel your air squeeze out of you. Everyone else hears this too. You open your eyes. You can see these long tentacles coming out of the ground, and one of them is sort of in the process of wrapping itself around you. And indeed, as she makes this sort of involuntary noise as the air is squeezed out of her, the rest of you are awoken by the sound and see the same thing. Malice is struggling to unwrap herself from this weird undulating group of tentacles coming out of the stone floor. Could everyone roll initiative, please?
Can't use magic. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Same situation for me, largely.
The club.
Yeah, I got the bar, the bent bar.
Who we're missing?
Ian as unknown combatant, maybe.
Unknown combatant. Who is unknown combatant?
That might be me, I think. You delete it and I'll try again.
Okay.
Maybe it's Bupido.
I don't know. I haven't added everyone in. So, put some music on. What did you roll the first time, Steve?
I can't see any of my dice rolls. They're all private, but I can't even see myself.
You can't see them yourself.
I can't either.
Okay.
Mine didn't pick my first one up, so I had to roll again.
Okay. All right. That's weird. I will have a quick look. It's probably one of the modules.
Thought it may have been intentional, so I didn't say anything.
No. Some rolls are hidden, but it shouldn't hide.
Actually, that's a lie. I can see my initiative.
Okay. So Steve, you're on 13. I'll figure that out rather than hold it up.
Okay, great.
will go, but you're on 13. So weirdly enough, the tentacle goes first. You're unhurt at the moment, Malice. As you sort of push off the tentacle, stop it from wrapping around you, it lashes out. But you sort of scramble across the floor and just manage to get out of the way as this huge weighty tentacle whacks into the ground. Who's next? Drodin, you're up.
Sure. Drodin will probably do nothing. Just stand there and be like, what the fuck is that? And then he'll hold out his rusty iron bar in case someone else wants to try and arm themselves to fight this thing.
Okay.
And
should be in.
Yeah, that's pretty much going to be him, I think. I don't have magic. I can't fight this thing right now.
Okay. Fair enough. Sevatar, you are up next.
I'll just rush over and try and grab a tentacle and try and just start prizing it off Malice.
Okay. Yeah.
Not very strong, but that's what he'll attempt to do.
Okay, roll a strength check for me then. If you're grappling it, basically.
I guess so. The intention.
Or are you doing an unarmed attack?
Unarmed attack. How do I do that? Let's have a look. Features
should be on your sheet.
I don't have that.
I think it's under features.
Yeah.
Inventory. Under weapons, you should have an armed strike.
There it is. Thanks, mate.
Twelve. You give it a punch with all your might, and it's tough and rubbery, but you feel like you've just done enough roll damage.
Okay. Oh dear.
It's a minimum of 1, so can't do less than
would
1.
I get sneak attack on that?
Yeah.
No, it's not a finesse weapon.
No, that's true. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately not.
No worries.
Okay, you do damage it. I don't believe in this being able to roll 0 damage. The blood is very excessive. But okay. Anything else? Any movement or?
No. Well, I've used all of it to stand up and run over, I would imagine.
Okay. Daphne, you're up.
Can I try to do magic just to see if it will work?
Yeah, sure. You can try.
Okay, I'm gonna try to do a projection attack. Okay.
Yeah, roll for it.
Did it work?
Did.
Is it happening? Okay.
It's happening.
So out of my hand, you'll see flying this magpie made out of pure light, and it's gonna fly over to this creature and try to hit it.
There's a hit. Roll damage.
Right, that's 6 points of radiant damage.
Okay, you don't hear anything because there's no obvious mouth or body to this thing. It's just these tentacles, but you hear it sort of sizzle and crackle as the radiant light washes over its body.
Gordon's going to look at that and go, "What the fuck did your magic work?"
Okay, that's all I'm gonna do.
Okay. You see Eldith come running up and just again tries to punch it. Ignore that I'm using short sword, but she does punch successfully. She makes contact with it, but it's just this wet slap as she punches it. Sorry, what's going on with all the blood?
That's a lot of blood.
It's not supposed to do that. Yeah, she makes contact, but it's not a strong hit. Tink, you're up.
Tink will use her movement and full action to dash to the door and scream, "Open the fucking door! We're dying in here!" That's it. She doesn't know how magic works.
It's a fair point. Malice.
I'm not really sure magic works either. I can see it's getting hurt, but can I look to see where it's coming from? Am I able to get enough of a? And I'm being flailed about. Am I still being flailed about at this point, or am I?
It's close to It's got about a 10-foot reach, so it's definitely can hit you from here. But as you look to the ground to see if it's a hole, it's almost like this swirling black hole, sort of smoky void in the ground with these tentacles coming out.
And then, I think I'm gonna have to try magic just because it's all I've got. So, can I attempt to sacred flame it?
Yeah, go for it.
So that would be a dex 12. Save.
Yeah, so hit. Oh, 12 dex. Sorry. $13.
Darn it, doesn't hit then.
So the sacred flame strikes out, but these things just move with sort of supernatural speed. And unfortunately, it doesn't make contact. Anything else?
No, there's not really anything I can do.
Derendil is still asleep, but hearing the ruckus, he sort of stands up, uses half his movement, and sort of staggers half asleep, doesn't quite get into the fight as fast as you would like. Top of the round, these tentacles start whipping now with quite a lot more ferocity than they were before, and Malice, it lashes out at you again. It's a 12.
I've not got any armor or anything, have I?
Yeah, so that'll be whatever you. So that'll be 11
Yes,
for your
11.
dex. So yeah, this thing whacks into you and like grasps you for a second. So 7 points of damage.
Okay.
And then as it grasps you, you feel it squeeze. You feel it squeeze, and everyone else hears this sickening crunch as Malice's ribcage is just crushed. You see her face go blank. She appears unconscious. Rodin.
We made the decision, since I'm a wizard, that I've still got spells, I just can't change them between long rest, didn't we? Well,
That's true.
Given that case then, if my spells are going to work, I will use one of my only 2 spell slots for a magic missile, seeing as that doesn't require material components.
Hey, go for it.
Oh, the first level is only a D4 though. It's a bit lame.
No, it's
That's
1d4 plus 1, 3 times.
Oh, right, okay.
three times, yeah.
All right. Completely did that wrong then. So that's... My brain shut down. Fucking hell.
It's 11.
11.
I don't know why my brain
Yeah,
found that
this-
so hard.
These things impact into it, and you just hear this sort of sound of almost like frying fish as it sizzles and burns away at it. And sort of see it drop Malice's body, and it sort of thunks onto the ground with a wet sound. Sevatar.
Does a creature still have a grip on Malice?
No, it's dropped her.
Okay, I'm gonna run over to her, try and grab her, and with whatever movement I have left, move as far as I can to get her out as far away from the creature as I can. And
Okay.
with my action, if I have one remaining, I will try to do, I'm not sure if it's going to be a medicine check or whatever, but try my best to stabilise her, or at least assist in some way that way.
Okay.
What role would you like, sir?
Well, you don't need a roll to move in and try and pick her up. But obviously, you move at half speed
Yeah.
once you start dragging her.
Yeah.
So you can just take that as movement. This thing might get an opportunity attack if you drag her out of its range.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you move your token?
I'm not on the scene, mate. I'm still on the welcome page, sorry.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, mate.
That's okay, buddy.
That's weird.
I think it's because I come in late.
Okay, I'm just going to flick it back and forth just to...
The standard to turn it on and off again, almost.
Yeah, are you in now?
Yeah, it's just loading up now, buddy.
Sorry about that. All that time you've been in the welcome page and I didn't know. Is everyone else in?
I'm just waiting for it to load as well.
I am in.
Okay, right. Sorry about that, Steve. Can you see your token now?
Nearly there, 99%. Try a refresh, eh?
Do you want me to move you? So it's 5, 10, 15,
Yeah, if you
20,
can move me in the
20
meantime, save holding it up.
It's 25 feet to get next to her.
Yeah. Oh, right, so I'm not going to be able to go farther.
No, you can probably... Can you
Well,
dash as a bonus action, or is that
didn't I
not
get
yet?
up to to make an unarmed strike at the last turn? So I thought I was right next to her.
Oh, you did actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're 5 foot away.
Yeah, so I'll run in, grab her, drag her half speed away, and then if it's possible, I'll try and stabilise it.
So you would get her 15 feet away. Yeah, roll a medicine check for me.
Wait 1 sec, here it comes. Oh dear.
Yeah, Yeah, you're trying to stabilise her. There's blood seeping out. It's almost like splits
It's
in the skin rather than slashes.
it's not my specialty.
No. I think she's dying. You're not sure.
Did I get a hit?
It's good. It's going to take a swing at you. That is a 8, which I assume misses. So no, you feel this tentacle whip behind you, but it doesn't make contact. Daphne, unless there's anything else, Steve. Sorry. Daphne, then. This thing's looking quite hurt now.
Daphne will grab you, Alice, and she's gonna touch her hand with her hands, and you're gonna see the lights flicker, and Daphne's veins are gonna almost look black for a second, but Malice will regain 1 hit point through a use of my healing hand.
Yeah, Malice sort of takes a breath. She's breathing again. You can see her chest sort of almost pop out as the bones repair themselves. She still looks bad. She's alive.
That is my turn.
Elbith will try and hit this thing. And she hits, but she only does 1 point of damage. This thing is looking badly hurt now. It's close to death. Tink. You've screamed for the guards. As you look through the gates, you think you can see 2 guards. Again, it's hard with your eyes, but they just seem to be stood there staring into space. It's almost like they can't hear you.
Great. She's probably gonna try the bars, see if someone's left them unlocked, hopefully.
Okay, yeah, you pull at the bar on the gate and it just opens.
I will.
It's not locked.
All that time, and we never thought to check.
Yeah. I will then let myself out, if I may.
Yep.
And turn round and shout, "Just run!" Is it an action to open the door or movement?
No, just you can just pull it open.
Then I will get to here and turn round and throw a firebolt at it for my action.
Okay, go for it. Hit, roll damage.
An actual roll over 10.
Wow, how do you want to do it?
I guess she just turns round, holds out a hand, and this bolt of fire hits the creature and just engulfs it in flames. Goes, "It's dead! Let's go!"
As your firebolt slams into this thing, it just seems to explode. Chunks of this weird tentacle flesh slapping wetly all around the room. This smoky black void just seems to close up, and it's at that moment that you all open your eyes and realise that you're asleep. And you're back in the cell. There's no blood. wasn't real. But you're all
Well,
awake.
I feel okay.
You feel fine. You're not wounded at all. You all wake up. You sit up with the start, and you realise you're all catching each other's eye, and you've all woken up at exactly the same moment. However,
that was weird and creepy.
Derendil and Eldith are just asleep. They don't seem to have woken up. It's just you five.
We all see that.
That was shit.
Yeah, I'm not
Clutching my
sure breathing in those spores is the safest. Not before bed, at least.
I was thinking the exact same thing. One giant
Clutching
shed
my-
right there.
clutching my ribcage. I'm gonna like sit up and be like, try the door, because half of that dream, all I remember was the door.
Definitely
Yeah,
will
you
look at
wander
the
over
door.
and you give the door a pull, but it appears to be locked.
Nope, just a dream. I'm gonna go back to sleep then. You notice Daphne falls asleep almost immediately as soon as the shots arrive.
Sleep anywhere. Okay, unless you do anything else. No.
Over to the spot where the tentacles were. Is anything?
You have a look. No, there's no blood. It just seems like it was when you went to bed. But you can't shake how real that felt. Genuinely felt like something from another place was coming through. And as you look around and see some of the others trying to get back to sleep and settle down, you wonder if it was a shared experience.
Okay, I'll try and go back to sleep.
Can I do any sort of check? She's not experienced a lot, but she's read a lot for sort of recognizing what those tentacles might be.
Yeah, roll. Oh, that's a good question. Well, what would you like to roll? I'll say you can roll nature or religion.
I will take nature.
Okay.
When Foundry, there we go. Woohoo!
Oh no. Yeah, you're pretty sure that it's a kraken or a giant squid.
She'll because she's an arrogant little shit, she'll say that out loud.
Yeah, you haven't made the link that normally they're in the sea, but hey, it's fine. Okay. So, yeah.
I was just gonna say, I feel that Malice is gonna be quite paranoid after that.
It
Can she
felt
spend some
really
time-
real.
Yeah, can she spend some time doing like a medicine check on herself? And can she check on the
Yeah,
spider to make sure the
sure.
spider's okay?
Yes, yeah, the spider's fine. Yeah, roll a medicine check.
She's terrible at medicine, it seems.
Well, she's so shaken by this experience. She literally felt her ribcage get crushed by this thing. It was incredibly painful and frightening to be woken up that way. She just, perhaps she's still got the shakes a little bit, but you can't find anything wrong with you, other than just your heart's racing, and you've got this just feeling of panic in your mind. You can't really. It's like waking up from a really bad dream, but one that felt so real.
Can she go over to where the hole was, place her head on the ground, and just try and listen for anything?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Roll
Would it-
perception for me.
Well, it's rolled at disadvantage, but I think that's the sunlight thing. So
Yeah. You don't. Yeah. It shouldn't be. Okay. That's
But-
20 for the first one. That's good. Yeah. You listen at the floor, and you can you almost hear all sorts of things going on. You can hear the guards walking. You can hear their footsteps as they're marching up and down. You can hear snoring from the cave next to this one. It sounds like some sort of animals or beasts snoring and sleeping. You can hear the sound of a waterfall not too far away. You can hear spiders twanging across their webs. And then just for this split second, you hear something else. And whereas all those sounds sounded like they came from somewhere, this sounds like it comes from everywhere and nowhere, and that makes no sense, but you get a sense that you're hearing something far off, and you just hear a male voice say, "It is done, but it has not gone well," and then nothing. And then you think, "Oh, am I still dreaming? Am I still asleep? Did I hear that?"
and with that, then she'll settle down, go to sleep.
Okay. So you all sleep, some better than others. You do have the benefit of a full rest, but any injuries sustained were not real. And indeed, at 5:30 a.m., a drow guard comes to the door, looks through. I need 3 volunteers, or we just fire an arrow and see who gets hit.
Sevatar will
You see
stand
another
up.
I'll hover over.
Traitor. Fitting. Elvira wants her boots polished. One more.
They will go.
As you wander around in the morning, you notice that Ront seems to have bled to death in the night, and he's cold. Should have been with Wapido though, but no.
On my way out, can I just grab my gold coin back?
Yeah,
Great.
yeah. Do you want to do it? Do you want to try and make it not obvious?
Nah.
Sleight of hand.
No, it was my gold
You're
coin.
just gonna walk up and pick it up.
I'll hover over and pick it up.
Okay, fair enough. Damn me. The guards don't seem to notice. So Tink, Sevatar, and Daphne. You see one of the guards take a key off his belt, stick it in the lock. It's weird in that they don't seem to turn the key. It just puts it in, holds it for a moment, and then there's this noise. You feel the bars come loose. The door is open. You 3 out onto the stairs. They'll be back for 3 more in a minute. So they push you down the stairs. As you get to the bottom, you see this scarred drow officer, his face all melted. These 3, is it? Right. That one, and he points at Sevatar. He's on boot duty. The other two, you're cleaning the Quaggoths. And you see him gesture behind him into this area here. In you go.
Alright.
You can see that there's more of these creatures like Derendil, but they're not nearly as intelligent as him. There's meat carcasses. They've just gone the toilet wherever they want. There's buckets in the corner. Clean it up.
I can't see what I'm cleaning. Need light.
Yeah. Yeah, can I if I can be allowed to, I can create light for her, if that's right with you.
How?
Magic, I can just cast a cantrip.
Cast it at the far side of the room. As you enter the room, you do see these Quaggoths kind of bristle, and almost for a second you think they're going to be aggressive, but this guard just seems to mutter something in a language you don't understand, and they just relax and stand down. Pardon me. Whilst you're doing that, Steve, they lead you up across this bridge here.
Yeah.
If you can see. They take you into this guard tower. Inside, you see 3 guards.
Yeah.
Who open the door on the other side. None of them are locked. And they lead you. They lead you all the way down. As you cross this wooden walkway, you can see this river coming out of the rock face in front of you. Mm-hmm. And then this waterfall just dropping for 100 feet or more into a pool below, on the level below. Yeah. As you get to the end of this bridge, you see another. He looks like an officer, judging by his clothing. And the 2 drow lead you up to this door and just stand at the end of the walkway.
I'll look at the guards, a little bit confused.
You need her boots cleaning. I suggest you do it, and you do it well.
Open the door. Enter cautiously.
Yeah, inside you can see this huge spider altar at the far side of the room with these 2 glowing sort of blue torch sconces, but they're glowing magically rather than with fire. She's kneeling in front of this huge spider altar. To the side, you can see a quite good-looking drow guy with his hair tied back behind his head. He's got braids coming down at the front. He's wearing he seems to just be wearing quite light armor with a shield on his back and a long sword. And he sort of sees you come in and smirks. Traitor's here to clean your boots. And she stands and then sits on a chair here. Just lies back, stretches her feet out. Polish is there. Clean my boots, slave.
I'll begin walking over, but I'll look around the rest of the room as much as I can. Let's get as much detail.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can see hatches above and below with ladders leading up and down in here.
Mm-hmm. Anything about the person of this woman who I'm cleaning the boots of? So while I'm looking, I'm getting the polish out, going through. I'm being a little bit slower, deliberately, just to try and drag it out a little bit.
Yeah. So as you're sort of taking your time, she lifts this. In fact, I'll show you the picture. She lifts this wand's not the right word because it's more of a stave. It's quite long. You can see these 3 tentacle whips on the end of it. They almost seem to be alive, whipping around. She just picks it up, and as she picks it up, they sort of get excited. Hurry up.
Okay, I'll begin polishing the boots.
Okay.
How about
We'll just head.
Sorry, just one last one.
No, go on.
And the good-looking drow. Anything about him? Any more detail?
He just looks quite smug.
Yeah.
They're kind of having a little conversation. I don't. Do you speak their language?
I think I speak Undercommon.
Okay.
Check.
Yeah. So it's a form of Elvish that they're speaking. You understand bits of it, but not all of it. It's like a slightly different dialect, but you kind of hear that they're talking something about a transport being late, and she seems annoyed that it's going to impact her career progression effectively. He just seems quite smug and just agreeing with her. He's quite slimy. He's just being a real creep, and he's not really saying anything but what he thinks she wants to hear. The ship, the convoy will be here soon. They'll take the slaves, but I'm sure there's a reasonable explanation for why they're late, and I'm sure it's nothing. That kind of thing.
Okay.
So back over to the Quagoff pit. Tink. So in here you can see 5 of these huge lumbering things. I'll put a light spell. Whereabouts do you want the light spell?
Oh,
I can cast it on Ting, or I can just cast it. Well, I'll just go to the back and have a look around for any items there. Yeah, I'm actually looking for something that's interesting to steal, but I'll pretend to look for something to cast light on.
Yeah, so there's not a lot in here. There's bits of food, although it's not the best quality food, but there is quite a lot of food. Just they seem to feed these things on meat. Looks like some form of lizard meat. So there are hunches of meat lying around. There's a lot of fungi and mushrooms.
Are the bones in the meat?
Yes.
Can I find the bone that would sort of work like something you'd use to lockpick, basically?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So you you're sort of pretending to clean up, and then you're going to try and hide the bones away.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, can you give me a sleight of hand check then, please? This scarred drow is stood at the door. He's kind of watching, but it's almost like he can't be bothered. You go to slide one of these bones. You find a particularly sharp one. You go to slide it into your belt and kind of not your belt, into your shirt, and you misjudge it and drop it on the floor with a bit of a clatter. And you look back to see if he's watching and if he saw, but he just seems to be. He just doesn't seem bothered at all. He's just leaning on the wall. He's not even looking into the room as you're doing this. So you manage to hide it away without any issue.
I'm going to cast light on this bucket.
Okay.
Think you can see.
while I'm cleaning the Quagoff,
Yeah.
that door that we just came through, well, was it? I can't remember. Was it a door?
It's not like a lockable door. It's more like a swing gate, like you would have for cattle or something.
Okay, that's good to know. I guess just in between like looking like I will be doing what I'm meant to be doing, but just
Yeah.
like Neven was doing, looking for anything interesting in the room that could be useful.
Did you just say Neven?
Yes,
She
I
did say
said
Niven,
Neven.
Okay. Yeah, you there's a number of buckets. You don't find anything like a weapon, but there's quite a number of buckets. Again, there's a lot of bones and bits of food, fungi. There's a number of fungi growing in some of the dark corners. You don't recognize all of them, but you do notice one that seems to be slightly glowing.
Oh, I'm gonna try
You
and
realize it's
get that. Yeah.
okay. Yeah, you can either just pick it or you can roll a survival check if you want to try and it's up to you. You
I'll
can
roll a
just
survival.
pick it.
She's
if you
not an
prefer.
idiot. She's just looking for
No.
anything helpful.
Okay. Yeah, you pull this little mushroom up, and as you do it, the light goes up.
I'll just pocket it.
Okay. Yeah, you pocket it. Yeah, there's quite a number of fungi in here. You're not sure what any of them are, but they could be edible. They might be poisonous. It's hard to know. Back to Steve. As you sort of finish polishing her boots, and in fact, you two would notice as well as you're cleaning that this scarred drow just kind of wanders off towards the guardhouse, and as he gets to the door, he sort of tells one of the more junior drow to head and watch you. So you see him disappear into the guardhouse, and one of the drow just comes to the bottom of the walkway. He's just peering into the room as you do. And a few moments later, Sevatar, you hear a knock at the door as you're polishing her boots, and this drow walks in, and she looks up at him with quite a lot of disdain, actually, almost more than she did at you. And he just says, "There's still no sign in Undercommon. There's still no sign of the convoy. We don't know what's happened. There's been no message from Menza Baranzan for a number of days." And she just sort of scowls at him, and and just waves him off. And you can sort of see the frustration and annoyance on his face as she dismisses him. And you also notice at the same time that this other drow officer just has this smug grin that it's just really it's really smug and unpleasant, just not very nice at all. And she clocks that maybe you heard that.
Yeah.
And just lifts her foot and just kicks out at you.
Rude.
I think that hits.
One with the transport mistress.
There's 1 point of damage to you. It's not a hard kick. Don't fear, you'll be in Menza Baranzan soon, and you know all too well how we treat traitors.
course.
I'll enjoy breaking you.
I know what awaits.
Well, maybe you should fall off a bridge if you don't fancy that lifestyle. But it won't help you. I'll just bring you back. Make sure you suffer for as long as I please.
As you wish.
Get out. Join that pathetic duel and maybe he'll follow you soon. She gestures towards the door. Doesn't get up. Just looks very relaxed. Not in the slightest bit concerned.
Anything
She
in my
raises...
immediate vicinity to pocket was not much.
Okay, roll a perception check for me.
Perception.
Okay. You're kind of trying to scan, but without being seen, without them catching on. There's nothing spectacular that you spot, but you do spot that she does have a dagger on the altar, some sort of sacrificial dagger with a sort of cobwebbed hilt. She is carrying this weird tentacled staff.
Mm-hmm.
There's a number of pots of incense and various other things on the altar as well, but actually this room is quite sparse. There's not a lot in it.
Dagger too far away? Not within.
No, you're
not within
quite
reach.
close to it. Yeah, you're
She's
quite
still
close
relaxed,
to it if you
not
want
really paying much attention. Other drow? Is he watching me?
She's just... I mean, they're kind of watching you, but they're quite relaxed. They don't seem to be too concerned. They don't feel in danger or that you can do anything effectively. A bit of a power trip. So yeah, if you want to try and pocket it, you could.
I will try.
Be a sleight of hand check. As you go to pocket it, she raises her little stave, and these tentacles whip out at you.
This is gonna
hurt. And you feel pain like you have never felt before. It's excruciating. These things wrap around your neck and they burn and sting and bite. And very quickly you feel yourself fall unconscious. And you're unconscious for you don't know how long. And then suddenly you feel the air back in your lungs again. And she's leaning over you with this big predatory grin on her face. You are back to full health. I can do this all day. Do you want to try that again?
No, I don't think I will.
She waves you off towards the door.
Off I go.
You see, well, we'll flick back to Tinken. Oh no, we'll flick back to Malice and Drodin. So as you're stood there, a drow guard again comes up, sticks a key in the door, points at Drodin and Malice. You two traitors, this way. So just as a reminder, any spells, or we'll probably just finish up in a minute. Any spells that you use obviously need to be verbal and semantic. Anything with material won't work. We've got an especially good job for you two, and they lead you. It's just one lone drow, sort of walks in front of you with his back to you, almost as if he's just daring you to do something.
There
Lead you down the steps.
is a part of my brain that was like, push him down the stairs.
It's tempting, isn't
It
it?
was really tempting.
Yeah. As you get here again, he gets walk this way. It's not letting me move them. And you pass through the guy inside. They lead you out the other side. I'm just going to move you because it's easier. I think the server's gone a bit slow. Lead you through the guard tower, down the walkway on the other side. Sorry, Hazel, put you in the cobwebs. You pass again by this river coming out of the rock face, the waterfall pouring down to the ground below, quite far below. You pass another 2 stalactites hanging from the ceiling. As you get to this part, you can see 2 of these huge Quaggoth creatures working what looks like some sort of lift or elevator here. And they're sort of lifting things up and down from the ground below. And they sort of he sort of leads you towards this area where there's a cafeteria. They need some more shelves in here to carve some stone shelves out of the rock back. He just sort of gestures for you to go in and points out just a random bit of stone wall at the back. In you go.
Delightful.
Indeed, on the side, you can see at the back where around about here, someone has clearly started to try and carve some shelves into the rock face. So, like physically removing whole pieces of stone with these pathetic little chisels and hammers.
Sorry, where was that?
Just about here. Oops. Right by where you are, actually.
Okay.
I don't know why the ping's not working.
And there are tiny kind of chisels.
Yeah, it's probably
many?
about there's literally 3 of them, and 3 hammers. The drow just hangs out by the door. You can see a number of drow sort of eating in here. Seems to be some sort of cafeteria, and there is one of these quaggoths, and it seems to be doing the washing up. Looks kind of odd. This 9-foot tall furry beast with a little brush. What do you want to do? Are you going to carve the wall? Or?
I don't think we've got much choice. I think we kind of got it, haven't we?
Yeah, a little bit. We can look around, keep an eye out, but for the time being, it looks like chipping away. It's the best thing we can do.
So you start chipping away, and it's really, really slow work. The chisels are blunt. The hammers aren't very heavy. But you make progress. It takes quite a long time. The other drows sort of watch you, but they come and go over time as they eat their food. They leave. Others come and take their place. There's probably 3 or 4 in here at any one time, and a couple of quaggoths.
Is there anything
and I'm aware it's
else
gone
in
past
the
10.
room
So,
that?
go on.
Is there anything else in the
there
room
is.
that might be worth attempting to pocket?
You can see as the drow get up and leave after their food, they leave their plates with knives and forks on the tables. After a while, one of the quaggoths will will wander over, pick them up rather clumsily, and then drop them on this table here at the bottom. And then the one just below you will wash them up and put them on one of the previously carved shelves on the wall, ready for the next meal.
Okay.
It's gone 10 now, so do we want to leave it there?
Good spot.
Yeah.
Gives
Um,
me
No,
and
it's
Hazel
not,
time
it's
to.
not a cliffhanger, but
yeah. I would
The
dash
whole
out anyway,
session's a
but if you guys
cliffhanger.
want to keep going.
I'd love to
This
keep
will
going,
do.
but
Play forever.
I've killed 2 of you already. Killed Steve. I only killed Hazel in a dream.
That was really good, mate.
yeah,
Was
really
that
good.
okay?
Yeah,
That
definitely.
was
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
good.
I love that.
Do you think I
Papido.
killed Hazel?
Papido
Oh, Papido's all you.
is, yeah, he's all that we
He's
care
my
about
next
now.
PC.
The whole thing is him.
I'm disappointed we couldn't get him to do the wailing for the dying orc.
Let's play Get Help.
Yeah.
Let's do Get Help. Yeah,
Wait, are you
I'm sure you could
saying
persuade him.
if I kill Absence, Bapito?
No, no. No, he would not be good in Ravenloft.
I don't think he's actually good in anything, but he's
No,
just
he's
a
not
dog.
good in anything. I did see all.
From the sounds of it, his
All-
idea of invincibility. From the sounds of it, his idea of I'm invincible is I don't get involved. It's like I'm just going to let everyone else get fucked up. I'm going to stand here. I survived.
He's evil because all protect him. He's just
At least had a lot of fun. Thank you.
He's
See you
brilliant.
as soon as I can.
Cheers,
Good night,
mate.
everyone.
See ya.
See you, mate.
Right?
Night, mate.
Bye.
Night.
Did Nick,
Yeah,
did
that's
Nick say he
funny.
was playing tomorrow? I can't remember. I was going to ask him.
Oh, I don't
Is
know.
tomorrow when he's flying back?
Is it?
I can't
Time's a
remember
fly-
the
oh.
exact breakdown of it all.
Oh yeah, he's still on. He's not right for him, isn't it?
Also,
Yeah.
a reminder for you, Matt. You need to end your stream.
Oh, thanks. If anyone's watching, I don't doubt they are, but if anyone's watching, goodbye.
Sarah.
Uh,